Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Some Cartoons podcast. I'm Ian Gorks.
I'm Drakwind.
And today we're going to talk about Avatar.
The Last Airbender. Not
Yep.
Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra sucks.
Hmm.
I stand by that.
I still haven't seen season 4, so I can't really say that.
It's just as bad as the rest of it.
We're not going to talk about every single episode. I guess we're going to go in chronologic order and just go over like main events.
How do we do this again? It's been a month. Should we start with the characters? I think we started with characters last time.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with? Don't have a list this time. I probably should have prepared better than that.
Well, as I said, I have a pretty good memory of the show, so I can remember the characters.
And I watched it last month. But how do you want to? What do you want to start with?
What better way to start off with the characters than Aang? I mean, at the beginning, he's kind of immature and very childish, and yeah, and he has to take on this responsibility that he doesn't think he's ready to handle.
He doesn't think he's ready to handle by the end of the series either.
I mean, at the end of the series, he has matured and he realizes his responsibility, but at the beginning, he's still very childish. So there is an interesting development throughout the series.
Very good character arc that he goes through.
Yeah.
Basically, he is the Avatar, and the Avatar is the master of all four elements: earth, wind, fire, air.
Earth, wind, fire, and air.
What did I say?
You meant water.
Oh, fuck. Water, earth, fire, air.
Yeah.
Damn it. You would think that I would have understood that from watching the intro 1,000 times over
Yeah.
at this point. But no, apparently I'm stupid.
I still remember it.
Water, earth, fire, air. I think Azula is actually the fire in that, and Paku is the one who is the water.
It's like Paku. I don't know who the Earth guy was.
I think it's just some random ass
Azula
guy.
and Aang in the intro.
Aang in the intro? I thought it was some other fucking...
I always thought it was Aang. But
Isn't that Bunkiatsu?
no, but we're getting off topic a little bit.
Yes, we are. That's always a fun part, though.
Your thoughts on Aang?
He's very enjoyable for a character. Sometimes he can be annoying with the whole peaceful thing and the whole vegetarian thing, because I hate vegetarians. Personal bias, but other than that, he is pretty acceptable for a main character, and does have a lot of things going for them. I didn't talk much about the whole Avatar thing, which I guess, should we go ahead and go into that, or wait until later to discuss that?
I guess we can wait until later, because that has to do with the actual story.
Alright.
But I guess Aang is kind of relatable for kids who are growing up and, like, trying to accept the weight of responsibility. Of course, in this sense, it's completely fictional, but...
Yeah, because every 12-year-old has to fight an army. Very relatable, Ian. Very relatable.
No, but you know what I mean. I
don't know.
No, okay, never mind. Oh, alright.
So I guess on to, we didn't really, well, that's fine, that's enough of him.
Yeah.
On to best character, Sokka, who is
my god, Sokka's hilarious.
who is the butt of everyone's joke.
Yep.
And I guess he makes everyone else his joke also, I guess.
Yep. He just, like, he's really goofy and he wants to be a warrior.
He's not over the top.
He's over the top in, like, the desert episode.
That's because he's so fucking high on cactus juice.
Yeah.
He and Momo were high on cactus juice in that episode.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have any, I guess, magic.
No, he doesn't bend.
He just
a
uses
warrior.
weapons.
Yep.
And he eventually, later on in the story, gets a sword made of a meteorite, and he loses the sword and never finds it.
He
which
lost.
is kind of sad knowing.
The sword came in and went out the same way, falling from the sky.
Yeah. Except this time it wasn't on. Well, no, it wasn't on fire that time.
No, it wasn't. But I just wanted to make that joke.
He made the joke too, didn't he?
No, I made that joke.
No, the character I want to say made the same joke. No, he said sword. No wait, fuck. Never
No,
mind.
when he lost, he just said my space sword.
Bye bye space sword. That's what he said. You're right.
Yeah, but yeah.
Overall, he's probably the best character outside of Toph.
Hilarious. Yep.
Speaking of Toph, who is the blind bandit.
She doesn't come until season 2, so I think we should move on to Katara next.
I thought we were going to cover the entire thing.
I mean, we are, but...
Alright, on to Katara then. Made a perfect segue though.
Yep.
Fucking knocked it down, asshole. Katara is the uptight, snooty kind of character for most of the part.
Yeah.
So she's very full of herself, which is very good for young girls, I guess. Very good role model to look up to. I wouldn't know, I'm not a character, I'm not a girl, but from what I can gather, she's very, I guess, not to be a dick, but the feminist character.
Especially at the end of season 1.
Yeah. She kind of drops that as the show goes on, becomes more motherly.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
But, I never found her character that interesting, but that's just me personally.
She is a waterbender, and the only waterbender from the southern tribe. Everyone else is apparently dead.
No, they were captured. I think.
I don't understand that in this series, because why would you capture them instead of killing them? I understand it's Nickelodeon, but people do die in the show.
Yeah.
So why not make it where they did kill them? They did kill them.
Well, there was reasoning behind it, but that's more so like in season 3. like when they explained it.
Well, it's not like later on there's any at the core. There's not a lot of new waterbenders. It's just
True.
down the south. There's no new ones. Just people there. Katara didn't get to see her mother again, as far as we know. So no, that guy specifically actually went there to kill people that time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's that one bloodbender's name? Fucking now something.
I don't know, something to do with that.
Hama. It's Hama.
Hama.
Right, it's Hama.
No, I just said Amma, like no
her
H.
name is Hama.
Yeah.
H-A-M-A is her name. That's how I got to where I was.
Yeah.
She got captured.
I think
Anyways,
we're getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah.
I was gonna say, going off.
Yeah.
That's the fun part, though. Once again.
Yep.
I enjoy the rambling.
Okay.
So who to next? There's a lot of characters.
Zuko.
I'm gonna save Zuko for later. He's the best character.
Okay. Yeah.
Overall.
I guess we can. Yeah, Iroh, or I don't know.
Zuko's firebending master.
Yeah, and Uncle.
Second funniest character in the show outside of Sokka.
Yeah, he's like very old and wise, yet he's funny at times.
And it's implied that in the past he was more uptight, like Ozai was.
Yeah.
So he's mellowed down after his son died at Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
And became more of a lighthearted, jokey kind of guy, and apparently the leader of an organization.
White Lotus.
Okay. Also, important notice, his voice actor, Mako, died during Season 2.
Yeah, that's why
So
he sounded so different in Season 3.
And that's most of the reason why he wasn't in Season 3 as much. Because I had the...
Although he did have... Actually, I think there was a reason, because he was in prison most of the time.
Yeah, but they still showed him. He didn't really talk anymore. And they had him in prison specifically so they wouldn't have to have him out. And even after the prison thing happened halfway through Season 3, and he broke out at that point, they could have had him around at that point, but they chose not to.
Yeah.
To make it where people can't really tell the voice changed. Keep him away for long enough, people won't notice.
Yeah.
But if you're watching it week to week, or not week to week, but all in one row, you'll notice it easily. Child me didn't notice.
Oh, I just remembered something else about Iroh. He's obsessed with tea. Alright, so I think it's for Iroh.
Yeah, I think that's it for Iroh. Oh, he's a firebending master and teaches Zuko. I think I said that, though.
Yep.
Alright, on to Azula?
I mean, she was the main antagonist of Season 2. What I wanted to do was start with characters introduced in Season 1, then characters introduced in Season 2.
Oh, okay. So I guess only other
That's why I wanted to talk about Zuko next.
I really want to save him for last, because he is literally the best character and goes through so much.
Yeah.
I guess we can go ahead and go on to Zuko, though.
Yeah, but I do agree with you on that. He is the best character. He's like he's the main antagonist in Season 1, a bit of an anti-hero in Season 2, and a sort of protagonist in Season 3. So, a lot of character development on him.
That's why he feels like the most fleshed out character of all the
characters.
Yeah,
it really does. Because he takes because he turns. That's not something you see often in media. You don't really see an antagonist turn around and become a protagonist or an anti-hero.
I disagree. I see that all the time.
Oh.
Have you watched Fairy Tail? Have you read Fairy Tail? I haven't.
You think I have?
Fucking arc. No, you haven't. Because you don't watch anime. I am so used to characters just swapping sides constantly. It's become old hats. But the difference is Zuko, you feel like he's meant to be that way. And you get to see him over time, so he's not such a bad person.
I mean, you can kind of see it coming from the beginning, like in Season 1, and especially at the end of Season 2, where he almost goes that direction. Not really like in the sense that he's going to become a good guy, but it's more so he had a positive attitude until Azula came in.
And then he fucked up.
Yep.
Could have killed Azula right then, but at least he did. In doing that, no way, actually he caused the Earth Kingdom to get burned that one time during Ozai's plan. He's the reason Ozai even came up with the plan to burn the Earth Kingdom. So never mind, had he stayed and fought Azula instead, maybe the whole fight with Ozai wouldn't have happened that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes you wonder how things would have gone. So basically, he is a firebender. He can't do any lightning bending, and his firebending isn't...
Well, he tried. He definitely did try, and he did redirect it back at Ozai when Ozai did fight him.
Oh, speaking of fucking lightning, and Legend of Korra, guess what? Everyone can fucking lightning bend, apparently, even though it's supposed to be only a select few.
It seems like Korra tried to shoehorn in advanced types of bending, like metal bending and blood bending and lightning. Like, those are more advanced levels of bending.
This is like, hey, these special guys that can all bend lightning, let's make them work in the city and power our shit and pay them like shit. These rare people, like...
We're going off topic.
It's annoying. I know I'm off topic. I told you, it's fun.
Yeah, but we're still on characters. Let me put it that way.
It's related. I'm not gonna get a chance to bring this up later.
It is related. We're still talking about Zuko, though.
Yeah, Zuko can't lightning bend and bring it all back around.
Alright, yeah, I think that's it for Zuko.
We didn't really talk about his character, though.
We didn't.
He's the Prince of the Fire Nation. The end.
Yeah.
He's an asshole sometimes.
Okay, former, and then he does
Reinstated.
become the prince again in season 3, and then he becomes the Fire Lord at the end of the series.
And then he has a fight with Aang in the graphic novels.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Damn.
Little bitch. And apparently Roku's an asshole. So who's next?
Okay, I think we could talk about season 2 characters now.
So, I guess Azula first then, because she comes in before Toph does.
Yeah. Azula is...
Insane?
Yes.
Crazy?
Like the definition of, like...
Psychopath?
I'd say more of an antagonist and probably a better antagonist than Zuko.
Well, she's more competent than Zuko.
Yeah.
And she actually has more than one person backing her up, unlike Zuko. Zuko only had
Yeah.
Iroh didn't do a lot. Iroh felt like being lazy. Zula has Mei and Ty Lee working with her.
Yeah. Which kind of reminds... It's a trope that I've noticed. You have a female trio. You have, like, the leader. You have, like, the tomboyish, angsty one, and then you have the innocent, cutish, silly one. I've noticed that in other...
I never noticed that this is in every fucking anime.
Powerpuff Girls, it was in the second Equestria Girls movie.
You know what? Fuck it. My Little Pony makes no sense.
We're not talking
Twilight
about-
leaves her friends on the other side to live with
Okay,
these people?
no, I was just mentioning that, that generic trio.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in that movie, Equestria Girls, Twilight Princess goes over to the human quotation marks world and leaves all her other friends behind in favor of these new friends to make these new friends get along, even though she needs to be there for her old friends to get along.
Right.
That
I
makes
don't know.
no sense. What the
That
fuck,
is
Hasbro?
okay, this is way off topic. I was just mentioning that that's another example of when I saw the trio. In the second one, not the first one, which is what you were talking about.
Stop trying to hold me down.
We're talking about Avatar, dude.
Fuck off. Back to Azula.
Yeah.
She can lightning bend. Her fire is blue for some
Yeah,
reason.
blue.
I don't actually know why it's blue. It's never explained. It's just that it's blue, and it's cool.
It is pretty
Maybe
cool.
it's some firebending trick where you make your flames different colors, but most people just don't want to do it because it takes extra effort or something.
Well, blue fire is hotter, to my knowledge.
No, it's gas fire.
Oh.
That's what fire is. It's not actually hotter. It's different fire. So I guess she makes it differently, or I don't know.
I have no idea how that works.
It seems the same the way it looks when she attacks with it. It's exactly the same as the other fire would be.
Yeah, and it does turn orange sometimes, like...
When it burns something, it turns orange.
Yeah.
Like when it catches a tree on fire, the tree's not burning blue, it's burning red.
Yeah.
She has a psychotic breakdown later on.
Yep.
So basically she has mommy issues. And Zuko has daddy issues. By the way, you should actually read the comics, Ian. Mom is still alive.
I heard.
Yeah, you should read the comics, they're good. I'll send you a link to it later.
Okay, but, I think that's it for Azula. Now, how about Toph?
Oh yeah, she's the princess at the end. Toph Beifong is a member of I guess it would be a baron. She's a family member of a baron for the Earth Kingdom. I want to say it's a baron. It's a rich family.
Yeah.
It owns the land, so I would assume baron. I don't know how China does this kind of thing, or what their titles will be. By the way, she was based around China. So Toph Beifong is a blind character who at first you think is
Innocent.
small.
I mean, okay, no, they introduce her as an arena fighter, and when you see her,
You meet her in the fucking swamp first.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. And I thought I had a good memory.
No, you know why? Because I fucking watched it. You didn't. I committed to this.
I mean, I do remember the swamp episode. It's just like I was mainly referring to that episode in particular, like the Blind Bandit episode.
Episode 11, I think.
No, I think that was episode 6.
Is it? You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Either way, she's a earthbending master.
Yep.
She can't see, so she uses vibrations and feels vibrations in the ground, like echolocation kind of thing.
Yeah, and that kind of, I guess that makes her like an earthbending prodigy.
Well, other earthbenders can do it too if they work on it. Like Aang later learns to do it also. It's just that she's lived her whole life doing it, so she's the best at it. Presumably.
Yeah, but she still I guess her parents think that she needs an earthbending teacher.
Well, they didn't know.
Yeah, that is true. Because, like,
She came from them.
rich parents are like that, I guess.
And then once they find out,
Especially with a blind child.
I was gonna say, once they find out she's a badass, they don't want to accept it for some reason.
Yeah. Even after, like, they send her away, and then he hires these two guys to be like, oh, they kidnapped my daughter.
I presume these people starved to death, because Toph does trap them inside a metal basket.
Yeah.
And they're in the middle of the woods. So how the hell did they get out, if at all?
Yeah, they probably died in there. Two rotting skeletons in a metal box.
Full of piss and pee.
Yep.
Piss and shit, I mean.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Ripperonis. It's a very dark series all of a sudden.
But Toph's still a badass.
May, stereotypical emo character who doesn't have
as
any
I said,
parent
the tomboy angsty of the female trio.
I wouldn't say she's a tomboy.
The least feminine.
I wouldn't say she's less feminine either.
I don't know. You know what I mean. She's that kind.
She's stoic.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But definitely angsty.
Parents. Ugh. Baby brother got out. Ugh. Rebels captured him. Ugh. Mud. I don't want to get dirty. Ugh. And that's and then I guess that's all our character really is. She's Zuko's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Until the comics, in which they're not together again for some reason.
Oh.
Because apparently she's a bitch.
Oh, now I remember the line where she said, "Don't ever break up with me again." Oh no.
And then she broke up with him because he wasn't telling her how he felt.
But yeah.
Ty Lee.
There's not much I can say about the secondary characters. I mean,
yeah, they're not very fleshed out.
Yeah, Ty Lee.
Very happy.
She's able to.
Shit.
Not a major character.
She is in fucking season 3, and she is all throughout the series.
I don't consider her a main character.
Fuck you then. She's in my heart. I guess Ty Lee. We should probably mention that Maid uses knives to fight.
Oh yeah, and
Ty Lee blocks chi.
Yeah, by hit. Yeah, so she's definitely a threat in that sense. Don't let her cutesiness try to fool you.
And she's fast. And Ian is in the small girl, so yes.
Fuck you.
What? I'm not judging you.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Well, she's like 15.
I said cute, not fucking hot.
Same difference.
No, it's not. You don't.
By the way,
she's a
circus
when you say a cat's cute, you don't say you want to fuck it.
Some people do.
Whatever.
I've seen furry porn. I was saying that Ty Lee used to live in a circus.
Yeah.
So she's very acrobatic. So pinning her down isn't very easy. Although all throughout the series she does sometimes manage to get hindered.
Yeah, at times.
Who would be next?
I mean, I think that's
Suki.
it for...
Talking about Suki.
Okay, fine.
She's a Kyoshi warrior.
Kyoshi warrior.
Warrior of Kyoshi. She's Sokka's girlfriend. Second girlfriend. Technically first girlfriend. Other one dies. She's basically the confident female version of Sokka.
Yep.
And that's that. Who next?
Well, I don't know. For major characters, should we count the animals?
Yeah, as I say, Momo is a flying lemur. So it's basically a lemur mixed with a bat. Which a lot of the animals in this series are
hybrids. They're hybrids, yeah.
Aside from one animal, that's all.
Yep.
A bear.
And then Appa is a flying bison.
Who is fucking adorable.
Do you want to fuck Appa?
No, you know I'm asexual. I want Appa to fuck me. Wow.
But yeah.
Appa's a giant fucking mount, basically.
Yeah.
So they have all their stuff on him, and he does get captured later on. They have to suffer for not having him. Although not for too long. Which it does play in the fact that if they didn't have Appa, they would be fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. They wouldn't be able to get anywhere.
What are all the mounts for each thing? I know firebenders have dragons when they're in Avatar, but those are all dead now.
I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention to that.
Are the waterbenders? I know in series 2. What the hell is the main character's name? Korra. What do you know?
Oh.
I forgot the name. She has a bear dog.
Yeah.
But what do earthbenders have? Do they have moles?
I have no idea.
I would assume that they have moles for their guides. Maybe different people have different animals. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know all the air nomads had bison. Though.
Yeah.
And all the Fire Nation had dragons.
But
anyways, I would Ozai.
Yeah, an antagonist throughout the series, mentioned mostly in the first 2 seasons, and his face isn't really seen.
He is final boss material.
Yeah, and then he's revealed in season 3.
He's the strongest of all firebenders, so that's assumedly how you get to be Fire Lords. You kill a Fire Lord, and you can become Fire Lord, I guess, through an Agni Kai.
No, I wouldn't. It's a...
I know you're born into it, but I'm presuming that through an Agni Kai you can take over everything. Because they make note that the Fire Nation King is always the strongest firebender. So presumably they want to have strong people being born into the lineage, which is why Zuko's a disappointment. Because he's not that strong of a firebender, all in all. Just speculation on my part. But Ozai is not a lot is known about Ozai. He's just kind of an asshole that you meet near the end of the series.
Yep.
And that's basically that.
Who basically wants to burn down the Earth Kingdom.
Which makes no sense, At all.
Basically, you're gonna kill a majority of the population in the world.
Also, some of his citizens live there.
Yeah, exactly.
Colonies. Speaking of which, the whole colony crisis is what happens during the comics. So again, I'll link that to you. So if you want to find out about how those things happen, I recommend you read that. It's in the first one that happens.
So yeah, is that it for Ozai? There's not much to say.
There's not a lot about him other than he's just a jerkbag.
I can't think of what other characters to talk about. I mean,
Boomy's crazy at the end. So their stories. Okay.
It starts in the Southern Water Tribe. We have Katara and Sokka on a fishing trip. They run into Aang in the iceberg and they free him. It produces a beam that signals Zuko, who was exiled and looking for the Avatar to regain his father's
love.
Yeah.
And his honor.
My honor. And anyways,
oh, fuck that fucking episode.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad start, but, like, it seems a bit silly at times.
No, I was talking about the play episode.
Oh, the play episode!
That's what, my honor is one of the things that constantly comes up in the play episode.
Yeah. That's
why I said that fucking episode is fucking amazing. Anyways.
Zuko finds Aang, and Aang surrenders himself and escapes.
No, he doesn't escape until the other.
Oh yeah, until Sokka and Katara show up on Appa, and they help him escape.
And then basically it's just them running around the.
Oh, I just remembered. Zhao.
Zhao.
We didn't talk about. Yeah.
He's not important.
But he was
important in season
he was like one of the antagonists in season 1.
He'd be secondary antagonist.
Yeah.
Actually, he's also Zuko's antagonist.
Yep.
I mean, he's like a series going on there.
But yeah, Zhao, he's basically trying to look for the Avatar before Zuko because he wants to screw him over.
And get a higher rank, sorry. That's basically that. Which he does actually end up catching him later on during season 1. And then Zuko actually helps Aang escape by dressing up as the Blue Spirit.
Yeah, which is an enemy to the Fire Nation, so...
Supposedly.
Yeah, he abandons the Blue Spirit,
afterwards, basically.
At the end, near the end of season 2.
Yeah, he does throws the mask in the lake. Where was he keeping that mask the entire time?
I don't know.
During the whole travels, you don't see it anywhere.
I don't know. But, back to season 1.
We didn't talk about season 1 at all. What the hell are you talking about?
No, we're starting.
Most of season 1 happens of them traveling up the coast.
Yeah, it's traveling and basically their encounters as they go north.
It's a lot more lighthearted during this point in the series because they're not super duper focused on things until they really get to the northern pole. Fuck.
There's not really an underlying story arc in regards to who they meet and the travels and like, because seasons 2 and 3 have more of an underlying story arc. I mean, of course, in season 1 the arc is about the traveling to the North Pole, but more stuff happens in seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah, they're also a lot more darker.
So I think, there's not much to talk about in regards to like the minor episodes in season 1, so I think we can just move right on and skip to the finale.
So General Zhao is going to attack the North Pole with at least 100 battleships, probably more, and basically the North Pole is outmatched because there's just not enough people to defend against it, and shit's being burnt up. And the Fire Nation isn't able to actually get through the defense easily. So in order to save time, General Zhao sneaks in to destroy one of the moon spirits, which are 2 koi fish, one black, one white, yin and yang. And
he captures the moon spirit, which causes a lunar eclipse somehow.
He kills it.
Yeah.
So it's not a lunar eclipse that happens. It's the sun. Moon blacks out because there's not 2.
No, it reds out.
It's red out?
It starts off red, but when he kills it, it turns black.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it goes. And upon killing it, Aang goes into the Avatar state and joins with the spirit somehow. I'm not sure how that worked. I guess Kirava was doing something.
The Avatar is the bridge between the spirit world and the real world.
Yeah, but they don't say that he can control spirits.
I guess he can.
Either way, he kills the shit out of Zhao. And the battle is done after Aang destroys all the ships also.
Yep.
In a very monstrous way. Very out of character. But then again, he couldn't control himself at that point.
And we almost forgot the reason they went to North Pole in the first place.
Oh yeah, water teacher.
Yep.
Water teacher.
So yeah.
Also, Zuko's there, and he's not doing very well. Nearly freezes to death.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
What happened at the start of season 2 again?
After what happened at the end of season 1.
They go to an Earth Kingdom keep saying temple. I can't speak to that. They go to an Earth Kingdom outpost, I think.
What Aang did, fucked him up. Basically, like, I don't think he was happy with what he did.
No, he wasn't. He was very upset about the fact that he killed a bunch of people there.
So he had to learn about the Avatar State.
So he went to Earth Kingdom outpost, and the guy there, the general there, wanted to force Aang into the Avatar State, and by doing so, he attacked Katara and Sokka, and he pulled Katara under the ground. And Aang went crazy and beat the shit out of all the troops there, including the general. And at that point, he decided he doesn't want to use the Avatar State anymore than he has to. He doesn't want to force it to happen. And then after that episode, he goes to the swamps a little while later. And that's where he meets swamp benders that become around later. And that's where he first sees Toph. And we forgot to talk about Yue and the Moon Spirit dying.
Oh yeah, I don't think we...
So Yue, at the end of season 1, who is Sokka's girlfriend, quote unquote. She was blessed with the Moon Spirit, and that's what allowed her to live when she was a child, because she was very weak as a child. So in exchange for one of the Moon Spirits coming back, she gave up her own life in order to become the moon itself. So that's that.
My first girlfriend turned into the moon.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
That was actually episode 16 of season 3.
Yep.
I know that one by heart.
But
I've seen it so many times.
what is it?
They go up to the underground fighting rink, and that's where they actually meet Toph and a few other fighters. And the Boulder, who is basically the Rock. No, he's not the Rock. Who is he supposed to be based on?
I have no idea.
I know the joke is that he's the Rock, but I don't believe Dwayne was like that. Mimicking some other wrestler or a few different wrestlers.
He's just like hilarious. He's like he's
the Boulder does not wish to fight a little girl.
And Sokka fanboys over him. It's hilarious.
Very good episode. I think in the commentary episodes where they had the little blurps that happen, they constantly talked about how they liked wrestling while they were watching it or writing the show. And that was just the writer's way of getting it out of their system, is to have this happen. And basically, they move on to a town near there, which is where Toph lives, and they meet her family. And then they have to go and rescue Toph and Aang, who get captured, and Toph one-shots everyone. And then they go off from there, and then the Beifongs, they send 2 mercenaries after Toph to capture her and bring her back home. And then after that, they go to the underground library, which was fucking awesome, because a giant fucking owl is amazing.
That was a pretty good pair of episodes.
Yeah. What is the owl's name?
I forgot too.
It's not too long a name. It's a simple name that doesn't make sense for the owl to have. But Zhao was also there previously and burned down everything. That's why the owl was pissed about people coming in and using a ship for their war.
But they did find out about an upcoming solar eclipse, which is part of the story arc for season 3.
That's the
actually it's part of the story arc for the next
few seasons. Because they have to go to Ba Sing Se to deliver the message.
The second half of season 2 and the first half of season 3.
By the way, during this library episode, Toph had to stay above because she didn't want to go into the library because she can't read. She's blind.
Yeah.
So during this time, Sandbenders show up and capture Appa.
They take Appa. So basically, they're fucked.
Yeah,
and they have to go through the desert. Aang's pissed off.
Toph couldn't do anything because the library was sinking under the sand, so she had to hold it up. That's why she couldn't protect Appa. And you realize at this point in time that they can't do anything without Appa. They suck without Appa. Literally, Appa has been carrying the team on its back. So they're going through the forest,
jungle.
Deserts.
Yeah, not jungle.
Desert.
Desert. Sokka finds a cactus, drinks it, gets high. And yeah.
Wasp hawk thingies.
Yeah, they wasp. I don't know. Just giant wasp things.
It's vulture wasp.
They get out of the desert, and then they have to get to Ba Sing Se, where they find out some conspiracy that...
Before they get there, they have to go through the Servant's Pass. Forgot about that. And that's where the Suki comes in again. I guess they go to Ba Sing Se.
They find out the conspiracy where, like, the Earth King doesn't know about the war, even though he should. They want to use his army when they attack the Fire Nation during the solar eclipse, which would be a really fucking awesome plan. And they probably would have won if that's the case. The female antagonists disguise themselves as the Kyoshi warriors, and they find out about the invasion plan. So basically, they get fucked over like that, and then they eventually take it over. Oh yeah, Zuko had to choose
Zuko
between.
and Iroh.
Zuko had to choose between having his honor restored or
Having his honor restored.
no, having his honor restored like through like Azula and regaining his prince title, or living the rest of his life with his uncle as a refugee.
In other words, having his honor restored and having his honor restored.
I wouldn't.
Like I said,
okay.
they're both. That's what the whole dilemma was. Is that both sides lead to the same result, but one is clearly the better. Because Zuko can have the honor from his parents back, or the honor from himself that he chooses, that he has earned,
right?
Instead of it being given to him by his dad.
So Ba Sing Se gets taken over by Azula and Zuko
With the help of the Dai Li.
So they're fucked.
During this whole thing, Aang gets shot in the back by a lightning bolt.
So he can't enter the Avatar state anymore.
The reason he couldn't go into it because he had to unlock his chakras with a Guru guy.
Yeah, and he didn't want to, and he would have to let go of Katara, and he couldn't.
He does manage to later on, though, in Season 3. So I guess basically Aang is dead, and he gets saved by Katara thanks to healing water from the North Pole that they got from where the koi fish were. And Zuko knows this, but no one else in the Fire Nation does.
So, in Season 3, Aang reawakens with a set of hair.
And they're basically just running around the Fire Nation at this point.
Yep.
Just trying to do shit. At this point, Sokka gets his space sword.
Yep.
After they save his city from a meteorite.
And Iroh is in prison. Zuko sends an assassin to hunt down Aang and kill him.
Sparky, Sparky, Boom, man.
Sparky, Sparky, Boom, man.
Sokka fucking has a kill count, by the way. He kills that fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
Sokka's the one who murders his ass, not Zuko.
So, they still go forth with the invasion plan, but they have a small army with their allies as opposed to the Earth Kingdom's army.
With the boulder!
Yep, and the swamp guys, the Earth Kingdom village that they visited in
Jet.
Season 1. Fuck Jet.
Fuck him, yeah. Shit. Fucking asshole. Hope he dies. Oh, wait, he did.
So they get screwed over because they knew about the invasion. Firelord hid, and Azula
kept them busy. So
yeah.
And at this point in time, Zuko fights.
Zuko knew where Ozai was, and Zuko pretty much spoke his mind. And
instead of killing him, fucking dumbass.
No,
he
because
didn't have any swords.
No, because fucking Zuko was like, I'm not gonna kill you because it's not my destiny. It's the Avatar's destiny.
Meanwhile, Iroh is smacking his head. Because, once again, you choose your own fucking destiny, damn it. The whole thing could have ended there, but whatever.
Yeah,
I guess it would be weird hackers.
So at that point, Zuko wants to go join Aang, but he has a hard time doing so, but he eventually does.
After burning Top's feet and helping kill a combustion man.
So, then Zuko's firebending gets diminished. They have to visit this,
Sun Warriors.
They free Sokka's dad from a prison.
Along with Suki.
Yeah, Suki and Sokka's dad from a prison.
We didn't talk about how the invasion plan failed. You're rushing too fast.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
So
no, I did because like Iroh was Ozai was hidden and Azula kept them distracted.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about how the army failed and then the army got captured.
Oh yeah, because the blimps, actually they were blimps. Oh, Zeppelins. Yeah, and balloons. They dropped bombs onto the
Hiroshima style.
Yeah, I guess the submarines.
It's so hot in my room.
And yeah, that's how the invasion plan failed. So they get freed. Katara wants to get revenge on the guy who killed his mom, on her mom.
Apparently this guy's the only guy in history who's actually killed someone in the show.
Really?
Instead of capturing the waterbender, he was sent to kill them.
That's why Katara's mom is dead. I'm not taking any prisoners today.
Fucking animation in the scene where she brings down the needles in front of the guy's face is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now back onto the play episode, which was the best episode in the fucking world.
It was a nice recap of what happened in the show, but it was, I guess, in a sense, a parody.
It was making fun of itself the entire time.
Yeah, it's like the most self-aware thing. Actually, I don't know about self-aware, because like they made Toph like a big buff guy, and they made Aang a girl.
I can see you just fine. I just had to scream. Got a good look at you there.
Yeah. So right
everyone hates their characters except Toph.
So right after that, is the Sozin's Comet episode where Aang tells Zuko that he plans on fighting the Fire Lord after the comet comes, but then Zuko's like, no, you have to do it before, because if you don't,
Fucked up.
yeah, the Earth Kingdom will be fucking dead.
And Aang doesn't want to kill the Fire Lord, so he goes and hides. And he meets Lion Turtle. And Lion Turtle gives him the power of bullshit to take away Ozai's powers. And then, basically, Aang and Ozai fight. During the fight, Aang isn't able to actually attack Ozai. We should probably actually cover a fight between Katara and Zuko first. Zuko and Katara versus Azula.
Yep.
Which is arguably the better of the fights.
Well, Katara didn't have much involvement until Zuko got hurt.
That's because Zuko wanted to be show off and fight her himself.
Yeah.
I guess for the right to be Fire Lord, but he ended up going down because she shot lightning at Katara, and he wasn't able to redirect it because he was falling through the air when he caught the lightning. So Katara single-handedly crushes Azula on the day in which firebending is the strongest. So that cements Katara as being powerful as hell. And I guess that's that after fucking
and
Azula
then,
has the
the White Lotus takes back Ba Sing Se.
There's a lot of reused footage in that, because when, what is Fire Dude's name? Zhong.
Yeah, Zhong.
Yeah, when he's flipping the little tank thingies, for one of the scenes, they mirror another image, so you can see basically the mirror opposite of it, and it looks so fucking weird and out of place.
Weird.
For when it's annoying.
But,
gotta save money somehow.
Yeah.
By the way, the animation in this fucking show is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's some of the best animations you can get. I'll talk about it in a minute. But during the fight with Ozai and Aang unlocks the Avatar state after he hides from Ozai, and then he crushes Ozai like the miserable piece of shit he is. Straight up crushes him. There is no contest at that point, and takes his bending away. And that's that. And after that whole thing gets done, we wrap up and basically see all the characters hanging out in Iroh's shop in Ba Sing Se, and everything's happy, hunky-dory, and the shipping thing gets resolved with Aang making out with Katara. The end. Happy story. Very good, very enjoyable. All around, probably the best thing you could ever watch.
It is definitely one of my favorite shows.
I mean, during the choreography of the fighting, I believe most of the fighting is based on different Chinese martial arts styles. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head that they use. But during the fights, you can always see where the characters are in relation to each other. There's never just half shots of characters fighting each other. You don't just see them from the torso up punching and shit. You see the whole character being animated, jumping around and fighting. So you can always see where they are in relation. And that really helps understanding how the fight actually is going. And then it adds to it with the way they animate the elemental attacks. It is just beautiful to look at sometimes. The ending fight with Zuko and Azula with the fire, fucking beautiful.
That was amazing. Yeah, visually amazing.
I don't know what their budget was like, but fucking hell, they had to have a giant ass budget to make this show.
It was a popular show, so yeah.
Yeah, but from the
especially the series
first season, it was a big budget.
Yeah, but the series finale just seemed like it ended with a bang in terms of everything.
This, quite frankly, is a 10 out of 10 series. Would recommend.
Yeah.
Would say watch it as many times as you can. Don't watch Legend of Korra, but watch this.
But there's like so much foreshadowing and underlying story arcs that you can get into.
In season 1, there's a shot of Azula. When Zuko gets his face burned off, you can see Azula smiling in the background.
Yeah.
That's how much foreshadowing they have. Azula doesn't come in until at least 14 episodes later is when she comes in.
Oh yeah. Another example of foreshadowing. They talk about Sozin's comet in mid-season 1, I think, is when they first introduced the idea. Roku tells Aang that he has to defeat the Fire Lord before the comet arrives. And I don't think he put enough emphasis on before because of Ozai's plan.
They didn't know the plan at that point.
Of course they didn't, but I think
Zuko is the reason the plan happened, because he talked about how the Earthbenders have a strong will, and the only way to crush the will is to crush the land, is what Azula came up with from that. So that's why they decided to burn everything, is because Zuko was there.
Yeah.
Which is what I said earlier, that if Zuko hadn't gone with Azula, then that plan would have never happened, and the whole fight with Ozai would have been different. And they might have been actually able to take on the Fire Nation during the eclipse. Because Azula wouldn't have been able to take her Ba Sing Se if she was dead.
So yeah.
What else is there to say?
I don't know. I mean, besides that, we both strongly recommend watching it. We gave away a lot of spoilers, but whatever.
People forget spoilers during the show. At least
True.
I do, anyways. When I'm watching a show that I know a little bit about, I usually end up forgetting it while I'm watching it. We didn't give too much away. Not like there's a lot of huge twists in the show out there. Pretty straightforward for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things, like, as I said, a lot of things are foreshadowed, so you can kind of see them coming, but not really in a bad way.
And things that aren't foreshadowed are still very nice when they show up.
Yeah.
There's usually nothing that's bullshit. I guess that's it. Would
Alright.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Same. So anyways, yeah, I'm Ian Gorks,
And I am Drakwind.
and we will see you guys in the next one.
Ah!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Some Tarku... Tarku...
Keep that in.
Oh god. No, I'm gonna restart that.
Oh. Yeah, and instruments, apparently.
Yeah.
Gotta stop saying apparently. Fuck. This is the Apparently podcast.
Apparently.
Apparently so.
Apparently, you can't stop saying that.
Fuck.